massive new Mueller scandal rocks DC after what he was just caught doing. While it is not news to most of us that Obama went above and beyond to provide special privileges to Muslims in America while simultaneously helping to spread the word of radical Islam across our country, it is nonetheless disturbing to know that Obama worked with Muslims to successfully purge and obliterate any and all mention of Islam from both the FBI and Homeland Security training manuals, which made it extremely difficult for those who are supposed to protect our country from terrorism to do their jobs. We all fully expect this type of backdoor behavior from our country's enemies. But we are now learning that while working under the former President, Robert Mueller was knowingly and willingly helping to ease the way for terrorists in America. One would think that our elected officials would have our best interests in mind when they are handed the responsibility of safeguarding our lives, but unfortunately that is just not the case. We know that Obama purposely infiltrated our government with radical Muslims from the terror-linked CARE organization. We also know that his very own senior advisor, Valerie Jarrett, was a Muslim Brotherhood operative who hated our country, and the pair worked closely together to take us out. Other Muslim Brotherhood members also held many high-ranking positions within Obama's advisory administration. In this brand new scandal, we are finally seeing that while Mueller worked as Obama's FBI chief, he was the one who directly oversaw the purge of all anti-terrorism training materials that were deemed offensive to Muslims. Mueller also worked directly with certain Muslim terrorists to stab America in the back with the unprecedented and disgusting move to censor and sugarcoat any mention of Islam and Muslims from our CIL training programs. Please remember that the textbook definition of treason is aiding and abetting the enemies of the United States, which is exactly what Mueller did by removing any and all mention of Islam or Muslims from our FBI and Homeland Security training manuals. This just proves that jihadists have been at the highest levels of our government, and it was they who called the shots in our country for Obama's 8 years in office. Leading Islam scholar and political pundit Pamela Geller recently uncovered this startling information, where she reported Obama's pro-jihad policies in action. Is it any wonder we are behind the 8 ball? The jihadists are running the show. 2 of the most notorious Muslim Brotherhood terror-tied groups in America purged all anti-terrorism training material deemed offensive to Muslims at the behest of FBI Chief Mueller. The FBI should have been prosecuting CARE and is now not partnering with them. The FBI was sitting on a mountain of evidence against these groups as a result of the largest terrorist funding trail in our nation's history. People ask me, how did the Hamas groups accomplish so much? Now you see. Is it any wonder the FBI did nothing in Garland, Texas? Or that 10 months after the Pulse nightclub jihad attack, the FBI said it still did not know his motive even though he had pledged his allegiance to ISIS. With this treasonous bombshell coming out against Mueller, can this traitor really be trusted to continue handling this witch hunt against President Trump? He is clearly not to be trusted. And he is obviously an extremely corrupt man whose integrity has been undoubtedly compromised by working directly with Muslim terrorists with the intent to bring this country down. While the liberals would absolutely love it if everyone would blindly believe the CARE is a civil rights organization, the truth is that nothing could be further from the truth. CARE has been linked to radical Muslim terrorists, including Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Muslim Brotherhood on numerous occasions. Pamela Geller has quite often pointed out how CARE displays a consistent pattern of encouraging Muslims not to cooperate with law enforcement, while they work the system to infiltrate every facet of our society and government with their insane and radical Islamic agenda. Now that Robert Mueller has been appointed special counsel to investigate if Russia influenced the 2016 presidential election, it's worth reiterating his misguided handiwork and collaboration with Islamist organizations as FBI director. Judicial Watch exclusively obtained droves of records back in 2013 documenting how, under Mueller's leadership, the FBI purged all anti-terrorism training material deemed offensive to Muslims after secret meetings between Islamic organizations and the FBI chief. As FBI director, Mueller bent over backwards to please radical Islamist groups and caved into the demands. The agency eliminated the valuable anti-terrorism training material and curricula after Mueller met with various Islamist organizations, including those with documented ties to terrorism. Among them were two organizations, Islamic Society of North America (ISNA) and Council on American Islamic Relations (CARE), named by the U.S. government as unindicted co-conspirators in the 2007 Holy Land Foundation terrorist financing case. CARE is a terrorist front group with extensive links to foreign and domestic Islamists. It was founded in 1994 by three Middle Eastern extremists, Omar Ahmad, Nihad Awad and Rafiq Jaber, who ran the American propaganda wing of Hamas, known then as the Islamic Association for Palestine. The swamp needs to be drained ASAP and with no hesitation whatsoever. For far too long our country has been plagued by corrupt officials who blatantly and outlandishly continue to work with our enemies in an effort to bring America down. Mueller needs to be immediately removed from any investigation, including the fake Russian collusion one, and a special investigation needs to be started concerning his treason against our country. Mueller absolutely needs to be held responsible for his part in willingly working with Muslim terrorists to destroy our country.